Chance's existential crisis arc, so...
Oh yeah. Chance has gone
This is
through
gonna
his
be
absolute
fun.
bastard arc. He also did go through one previous identity crisis arc with the mirror thing, but that was when Chance was you.
Oh no, that never had an issue. That was literally, hey you bastard, get out of my way, you're not me.
He definitely did have like a bit of identity issue with when he decided to change his name. I think that was more, I'm gonna be a good boy.
Yeah, that was into the mischievous arc. Then we got into the actual good person arc. And now we're into the then we went into the ego death arc. And now we're in the identity crisis arc.
You're not the only one that's
Then-
gone through an ego death arc, like Providence.
Yeah, it's
End
fine.
of sentence.
It's fine. I've got no issues. It's not like I've been contemplating what you would do at the very end of the game just to spite a certain wizard for existing.
Wrong game. Oh, wrong wizard. What happened last week? Aside from chance and chance and chance and chance and chance.
Yeah, Chance got real sad, and everyone else was like, "Boy, stop being sad." We met a green tall guy, and he was kind of goofy. And Chance was like, "Okay, let me fight you. Let me fight you to see if you can hang with the big boys." And then proceeded to kick his ass in such an embarrassing and humiliating way that he stopped fighting. And was like, "Okay, you guys win. You know, and I can't win, and it's fine." And then Arazid kind of felt bad for him because he was like, "Wow, this guy's kind of fucking pathetic." And he walked up and was like, "Are you good?" And the guy, "No, I'm not good." And Arazid was like, "Okay, I'm gonna call you Sword now, and just kind of hope that things get better from here." And then all of the simulacrums came, and there's like a million of them now because they keep reproducing themselves, and that gave Chance an identity crisis. And everyone was like, "Man, you gotta figure out this shit after we fight a war. You really need to calm the fuck down, please." And he was like, "No." And then we kind of dealt with that for a while. And then once we were able to get him in a state where we didn't feel like he was gonna die, uh, we've turned our focus to battle maps and such.
Yes. And I believe it's getting like a little late. Late on in the day. It's currently the 19th invasion day. Tomorrow is when the army that is camped a few hours outside of the walls is planned to attack. And the lot of you, I assume, were in the university / forum building for a little while.
I'd say so.
But you know, you're all only mortal. Food is somewhat of a necessity, so the 5 of you decide to step out and go and find someone selling something wholesome, preferably popped and from a cart. Roasted chestnuts, perhaps, as there's a chill in the air. We will pause for a minute, because I'm sure Sarah would like to see all of this. And as you walk into this same courtyard area that you once reunited a bunch of balls, a chill ends up sweeping over the area. There's a blast of really cold air, and there seems to be a swirling portal, bright blue thing that appears on the other side of the well. And out of it, a familiar figure steps.
Familiar to all of us?
I believe you encountered one another a few weeks ago in game time, a year ago in real life.
Oh yeah, in the mountains.
And Dolly steps towards all of you. Ah, you are here. Good. The master has need of you.
There's kind of a war going on. I don't know if we have time to help a little goblin.
Don't worry. Where we're going, time stands still.
That's... Chance just kind of like shrugs, not even thinking about it at this point. Alright. In and out, 20-minute adventure.
Sword is going to step up. I am going to stay here and help train more. You have fun with whatever this is. Dolly nods, looks at the other four of you and gestures to the still swirling vortex.
Oh, you want us to like step through the? Okay. Arazid Chance hold my hands.
Chance will just nod.
Oh, wait, so we're committing? We're fully committing?
Are you gonna hold my hand or aren't you?
Okay.
Alright, once
And
I have
I
both
do.
hands in my hand, I'm gonna step through the vortex.
Arazid, Providence.
Oh, I'm coming with Audra.
I think she's just standing there and just out loud just goes, "What the fuck?" Just staring at this portal and whoever this is, just like,
Right. I don't believe Providence has had the honour.
no, so right now she's currently holding a sword.
Would anyone like to fill Providence in?
I'd like to think they've gone before they do that.
So it's just you and Dolly staring at each other across the courtyard. Hello.
Who the fuck are you? What is this? What is going on?
I am Dolly. I find ways when it is hard to sue. We make magic.
Okay, cool. Right. That really doesn't narrow it down at all. Okay. Fuck it. And she just walks through.
Okay. With all of you walking through, you walk through the vortex, and then immediately you're hit by a very thick wave of cold air, and you suddenly find yourselves in an alien environment. Just walking seemingly through a veil of mist and into the edge of a forest. There is a sign just next to this lamppost with a map attached, and in large letters at the top it says, "Welcome to Lappyland." But the L has been, in Lappy, has been crossed out and replaced with an H. Welcome to Happy Land.
I just give like a really concerned smile. Yeah, okay.
And as you observe the map, it shows you all of the
must-
different areas of Happy Land.
Guys, it's the North Pole. It's the North Pole. It's the North Pole.
You know, the next time a portal opens up in front of us and you all decide to just walk through, would you mind explaining to me why you're going through that random portal that opens up on the other end of us? Just so that You know, I'm not standing there confused, threatening to cut that guy's throat open.
You know, sometimes I just walk through portals.
That's not a healthy thing to do.
Also,
you never
not
heard the
behavior I have
phrase?
previously observed from you.
Oh, look, Providence, have you never heard the phrase? Hocus pocus, step on focus.
Besides, anywhere we go, Chance can just take us back. Or I can take us back.
Chance, I grew up in the same place you did. I never heard that. I think you're on something. Because I swear we were never taught that. Unless I'm losing. I could very well be losing it.
And it's something that Ollie mostly used to say.
Inqua a lot as well.
Oh. Yeah, that was an Inqua thing.
Okay, fair enough. Just a little bit of a heads up next time, in case this happens again.
Okay. So the reason we stepped through this portal is because we've met this person twice before for some of us. That's kind of the end of the sentence.
Wonderful. Okay.
Aren't you excited to be in such a happy place, though?
Oh my goodness, I almost forgot snow! Providence, have you ever seen snow before?
Yes.
You have? That's great.
Yes.
Audra takes a handful and just throws it up in the air so that it falls on all our heads.
We did this so long last time we were in a place like this, and I miss it. But also, I feel like this place is scary, and you may not have the same impression that I do.
What's
I'm
scary about it, Arazid?
Chains points to the sign, but it says it's Happy Land, Arazid.
Yeah, it's Happy Land.
Yeah, it's Happy Land, and the fact that they just kind of that it used to be something else is negligible to the point.
I feel like any place that needs to specify that it is happy is not happy.
Explain further.
I don't trust things on first appearance. Like, everything.
Okay, so you're like expecting this place to lie.
Yes. Yes, I am.
It's a place.
Audra, why does that still surprise you? I know that you grew up in Grove, but everybody lies. I lie. I've lied to you recently and often.
Why would you lie to me, Arazid? I trusted you.
Well, it's about small stuff. I wouldn't lie to you about anything big.
What'd you lie to me about?
You want a specific example? Okay. Well, when I panicked in my head, like, 4 hours ago, half of that panic was me just wanting to say something in a way that I felt you would understand. I wasn't, like, truly panicking. I just wanted, comfort from you also.
You can just ask for comfort, Arazid. Here, I'll give you a hug right now.
Okay, can you please do that? I'm scared. I don't lack happy land.
I think it's gonna be great.
Why are you scared of Happy Land? Nothing has ever gone bad in Happy Land, right?
Actually, things are quite bad in Happy Land right now.
Oh, why?
The elves are revolting.
Good for them.
Why?
And-
Are you not providing good working conditions?
That is one of their demands, yes.
Okay, so we're here to help provide good working conditions.
No, we're here because they're threatening to kill Nick.
Did Nick do something bad?
I'm sorry, who the fuck's Nick?
Nick's a small little goblin friend of ours. Who enjoys going about and giving presents.
I'm sure you are all quite cold, so I'll take you to Nick's house where there's always a fire and we can warm up.
That's not too bad out here.
I love this.
You are very hardy for ones who have been brought up in a desert.
I think it's probably just the clothes that I have are weaved in with the carapace of an ice devil, so I have natural resistance to the cold.
Very
I just like
trendy.
that
I have hot chalky.
I'm glad that you are still using that. Excuse me. Dolly leads you all into a very cozy, lush, well-decorated log cabin with a massive fireplace. It's very cozy and warm inside here. And, by the way, the reason it's now called Happy Land is because Nick's wife has died.
How is that happy?
Her name was Lappy.
Oh, he named it after her. Chance, that's sad.
He tried to move on, but he couldn't bear to invoke her name, so he changed it to what he hoped to be in the future.
Oh no.
You know, you could probably do a better job with the sign of making it. Because it's like really obvious what it used to be.
We don't get visitors here very often.
Okay, I'm just saying if I were Santa, I would just stand in front of the sign and cry all day.
I don't think he's gone to the sign for many, many years. Or minutes.
Oh, okay, the death isn't recent. Alright, that's fine. Okay, that kind of changes my perspective on it a little bit. Sorry if that's mean. I'm sorry, Audra, but that, a few years,
If I die, are you just gonna forget about me in a few years?
Well, I wouldn't go outside of your sign and cry after a few years, but I'd still love you.
It's fine, I'd forget about you too.
No, Audra. Immediately in her arms, big hug.
It's fine.
It's nice to see some happiness
my,
brought here.
300-year lifespan.
Dolly just kind of looks around and then hands you both a box. It appears to be made of quite a thick paper, and it's decorated with red and green painted stripes. Sticking out of the top is a very, very thin, wafy piece of paper, very soft to the touch.
Thank you, I love paper.
It's a tissue.
I try to eat it.
It is edible. It tastes vaguely of peppermint.
It's a weird way to give snacks, but effective.
Oh, actually, one pops up after you have one, so I guess maybe it is for snacking. Wow.
Not the healthiest choice, but...
Oh, is this like an indulgence?
It's like the Vicks Vapor Rub is the peppermint day.
The peppermint flavor is more to help with decongesting the nose.
Oh, so this is like medicine.
Yes.
Okay, Arazid only have a couple. It's like medicine.
Okay. I'm just eating. I'm just eating tissues. What?
Two every 4 hours.
What's decongesting?
Have you ever had lots of cotton shoved up your nose, or feeling like you have?
Yeah.
Well, decongesting is to stop that, to make you breathe again. And as Dolly says breathe again, his massive minotaur nostrils flare outwards.
Well, that's not good for us because we live in a very, very sandy place, and if we get even a little bit of wind and your nose is not completely clogged up, you're gonna get a lot of sand particles in your nose. I think it's more for protection than anything.
Then maybe you should stop eating the tissue.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to hear about the situation?
Yeah, let's help these guys out.
A quick overview of the town. Well, the land, I should say. This is all one tiny pocket dimension anyway. We're currently in Nick's house. Over here is the guard post where me and my siblings sleep. Over here we have the foreman's office. Currently it's unoccupied. I think the foreman is revolting along with the rest. Over here is where the happy little elves sleep. And then, all around here is where the action happens. The bit in the center is the central manufacturing building. That is where most of the elves are at the moment. They are threatening to blow up the whole building if they do not have their demands met.
Great, so we're here to meet their demands and make sure they're all happy.
You don't want us to kill any of them?
Or we could break the spirits and strike if it's too unreasonable of demands. What? Who's to say that they're on the side of good? Perhaps they
They're
are
happy
asking
little
for...
elves.
Perhaps they are asking for too much. I am sure Nick is rather reasonable.
I mean, if not, like, this is, like, his pocket dimension. He can just kick them out, right?
That would severely affect our profit margin.
Okay, I get it.
You
Profit
give
margin?
your stuff away. What profit is there to be made?
We gave it away to you. Where do you think the majority of the magic items you have bought comes from?
Ooh, capitalism. Ooh, cringe. Audra just sitting there with that, like, grimacing smile face, like,
Ah, suppose it does need to come from somewheres.
So yes, please try not to kill any of the elves. They are the ones best suited to the manufacturing. They have been doing it for a while.
I mean, they see some of, like, the profits of their labor, right? Like, they have, like, you know, profit sharing.
What are you talking about?
I read this book on economics.
What is economics? Growth? I hate growth so much sometimes. You know what we had in Naglamon?
No.
Child labor. We had child labor, and it was fine. We just all worked, and if you didn't work, you didn't eat.
It doesn't sound fine. It sounds like actually that was very traumatic for you.
No. We've seen economics in action. Remember Onalembo when they're, when, you know, they just kind of, like, shit the bed whenever, you know, somebody, totally not me, broke in and emptied the bank? And everybody started panicking?
Yeah, like when they didn't have any currency that they had based their whole economic system on.
Economics in action.
I mean, even like trading stuff can be considered economics according to the book that I was reading. Like even just like bartering.
I just know if I hand them the gold stuff, they'll give me food.
I mean, yeah, but do you know like how much gold stuff is fair?
I have not as much gold stuff as Ollie did, but I have enough to buy food.
We're gonna have to have a nice long chat later.
Sometimes they ask me for more of the golden stuff than they ask Ollie for, and that's okay. But I hand it over, I hand it over.
So things work in a similar way as you described on Naglamond working.
Oh, child labor?
And if you don't work, you don't eat.
I mean, that...
The children are very good at getting under the larger pieces of machinery. We've only had 2 lost limbs.
My friend, I just boop him on the nose. No.
He kind of like shakes his head while drawing it aback. He really got taken off guard by that.
I mean, this makes perfect sense to me. I think the first time I picked up a pickaxe, I was 4 years old. It was bigger than I was. It still is bigger than I am, actually.
Hey, Arazid, that's wrong. You were treated wrong.
I don't think so, because it was my family and I love them more than anyone else on this planet.
Where's Nick at, anyways?
Yeah, where's Nick at?
He went to go
Totally.
and negotiate with the people inside of the main factory. And
Okay,
they
yeah.
started throwing alchemist's fire at him.
You know what? I think we should go talk to Nick and
Good luck.
I
He's
think we should
pinned
figure out
down somewhere. This is my problem.
I think we should split up, and some of you should talk to Nick, and I'll go talk to the guys.
Oh, is Nick a hostage then?
Indeed.
Okay, this has gone from simple revolts to what the actual fuck are they doing? This isn't how things are done.
This makes a lot of sense because they want their demands met and they kill the person who is supposed to do it.
Well, how are their demands supposed to be met if the person who can meet their demands is their hostage?
Maybe they think Dolly can meet their demands? Hey Dolly, do you have the power to meet their demands?
No. I suppose Nick could. He's not a hostage, I'd say. He's more been split up and can't... He's over here. He's in this cabin here. Now, let me just fill you in on what's going on at the moment. They've erected a barricade over here. And they had That's not how that was meant to go. Okay. And they had erected a barricade over here as well. But after the less than productive chat, they've moved it to here. Anyone who crosses over the barricade, they're going to kill Nick. They were demanding that me or one of my siblings negotiate, but we are not very good at that, and you are, and I panicked and came to you for help.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's just go talk to these elves, just give them everything that they're asking for, and then the barricades can come down.
Don't know if I'd go that far, but we don't know what these demands...
I just want you to picture for a second. Just picture for a second that we have a beautiful, beautiful child, and they are forced to go into hard labor at the age of, I don't know, 5, and then they lose an arm because someone made them crawl under a vehicle.
Okay, we regrow it.
Imagine we don't have the power to do that. Imagine we're very poor.
But we did actually do that. This is the thing that mystifies me. They produce gold, but in return they get free food, free housing, free healthcare. They are in a safe demiplane, away from the problems of the main world.
Sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Getting your arm removed still hurts.
I'm gonna go rescue Nick. I put up the hood of the Club of Elvenkind.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to these people.
It'll toughen you up.
Okay.
Losing an arm every once in a while.
Let's go talk to them. Once you reach the barricades, kind of like sheltering next to the foreman's office and like in the tree line, you see 4 other minotaurs. Look quite similar.
I'm assuming those are your siblings?
Yes, this is Nasher, Thrasher, Slasher, and Cubert.
Seems like there was a theme going and then Cubert came along.
Now, well, all of the names of my siblings are Nasher, Thrasher, Slasher, Cubert, Astrid, Harpy, Kebab, Flash, and me.
I really like Kebab.
That's Donna. Donna Kebab. The 4 guards around kind of nod at you. One of them communicates, Astrid's with him. They've been pinned down in that cabin over there.
This one?
This one.
Well, nobody walk over barricade lines. We would prefer to negotiate and talk them down than resort to violence.
Audra walks like right up to the barricade, puts both hands around her mouth, goes, "Hi, I'd like to talk to someone."
A not happy, not small face pops up from the barricades. It's for reference, there's a lot of logs that seem to have been chopped from the surrounding trees, with a couple of pieces of large furniture mixed into, a couple of bunk beds on either end. What do you want? Who are you?
Oh, my name is Audra. This is Chance, Providence, Arazid, Dolly.
Don't introduce me, I'm trying to hide.
I just kind of point to the general area where Arazid is, but not exactly there.
I assume Arazid will like try and hide behind Dolly or something.
Yeah, I got my cloak hood up. I'm trying to remain a little bit hidden.
And I heard that you guys have some concerns. Things are maybe getting violent. So I just wanted to talk to you and see what's going on.
Yes, we want justice for peppermint sticks and all those who have been harmed or killed by the fascist rule of Nick.
What happened to peppermint sticks?
The conditions that we are forced to work in inside central manufacturing are a joke. Pepper had to bend down to go pick something up, and her pointy little hat accidentally knocked over a cauldron, and acid poured all over her. This is unfair treatment.
Was she forced to wear the hat?
They are a uniform. You see, the head that's popped up has also got this kind of very jaunty red hat with a white trim. But it's not quite as floppy as Nick's. It's smaller, but it's quite rigid and pointy.
She's still wearing her damn chains while she's trying to do a revolt. Sister, please.
Question. Could we have not just reinforced where the cauldron is so this couldn't happen again?
It's not just the cauldron. All of the environment that we must work in are awful. We have to breathe in fumes that do God knows what to our lungs and body. There is no ventilation, no warmth. We have no choice on what to eat, and we cannot leave. We cannot have any of our demands heard. So,
You know what?
we're taking over.
It sounds like you really need a safety audit on.
That is one of our demands. Or it was.
Actually, Sarah just steps in. It's not even Audra.
Sarah.
Sarah.
For real.
We brought our reasonable demands to Nick, but
Mm-hmm.
he had concerns and questions. So we told him to shove off.
What kind of concerns and questions? The kind of concerns and questions that maybe would lead to your demands getting met? Or
He thinks that if we're allowed to leave this place that we'll sell his secrets.
Okay.
He thinks we won't come back. He thinks that we will die.
I mean, do you know
might
what the outside
actually.
world is like?
It's very scary out there.
It can't be
There's
any
currently a
scarier
war.
than having to work 20-hour days leading up to nice, spooky and happy seasons, apparently.
Okay. I can understand wanting a bit less hours, but outside there's currently a war going on that we're trying to fight. If I could have a nice cushy job in here just making magic items, I mean, working for maybe 10 hours doesn't sound too bad.
Yes, another of our demands was a reasonable working day, with days off.
Do you have like a list of your demands?
You can hear a rustle of paper. Number 1, agreed upon working hours with days off. Number 2, a health and safety agreement and a group to monitor adherence. Number 3, elected representatives to mediate our demands with Nick. Number 4, holiday time away from the demiplane. Number 5, the ability to not be cold all the time.
Chance just looks at like the smokestacks that are like spewing like smoke. Or I guess like the chimneys that are spewing smoke. This not for warmth?
You examine them a bit closer and you see that they seem to be more steam. There's a strange chemically smell to them.
Huh.
This place smells like bad alchemy.
Where's Inqua when we need him?
Working.
Honestly, all of these demands sound incredibly reasonable, although, I mean, I wouldn't have listened to me if I were telling me that, hey, the world outside Grove is really terrible and awful and you should be scared. In fact, I didn't listen at all, so we might be wasting our breath on that one chance.
So we tried to negotiate. Thank you. We're done.
Oh, do you mind if, like, I just come in and just have, like, a stern talking to with Nick and, you know, maybe...
No one's allowed in.
Really has the power to meet your demands?
He was given the opportunity to meet our demands. He worried about how much money he would make and if it would be enough to feed us if we didn't work as many hours. And all of these other bullshit bourgeoisie things.
I mean, I don't think it's bullshit bourgeoisie to worry if he's going to be able to feed you. I mean, that's actually, that's...
How many are there of you?
We are now 47.
Okay.
47, okay.
And how? Chance is gonna look. So, how many siblings do you have?
I have 8. One is
9.
with Nick currently.
So 9 plus Nick, so that's 10. So we have 57 mouths to feed here. I'm
And you guys have-
assuming
I assume.
Dolly and their siblings probably eat a bit more than everybody else, but Nick would probably eat a bit less.
That would be a fair assumption.
So let's just round this for like, let's say 60 people. Like, you know, we need enough food roughly to feed 60 people per day.
I wish Sophia were here. And I assume you guys have some sort of, like, sustainable agriculture that you use to feed yourselves? Like some hearty potatoes?
Arazid motions to all the trees, and it's like, there's food right here.
I don't see any
Wait, you
farming
eat-
apparatus.
Trees?
You don't know what plants are edible?
No, it's just trees are just, it's just fibrous material, and it's not really that nutritious.
Chance, look back to the elf. Well, now that we understand the situation a bit better, what are the chances we can go talk to Nick, get his side of the story, see if we can help mediate this, and get a good solution for everybody? Because we're neutral parties here. We literally just came from, you know, the war-torn outside world. We're like, I don't know, 12, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less-ish hours away from going into another big battle to decide the fate of a city, if it's going to be destroyed and everybody inside of it killed, or if we're going to push back the invaders. Negotiating a deal between Nick and you guys should be small potatoes in comparison.
What are
I kind of
potatoes?
Oh my goodness.
They're this weird root that grows in the ground that you can eat, but you can't survive on only them, from what I'm told.
Yeah, actually, here, just while I'm thinking about it here, Audra starts to pass through the barricade some good berries. You know, just while we're standing here, you only have one each. They're enough for a whole day. Just pass them around to your friends.
The berries get like passed over, and then you see them just being thrown back over the barricade. We do not accept any poisonous tricks from outsiders that we do not know.
Oh, you just throw them on the ground. That's okay. The ground is, it's just snow. Audra will eat one in front of them, and then try to offer them the rest.
I'm gonna need a persuasion check.
I'm not terrible at these guys.
Can Chance eat one as well and take the help action
Sure.
to show, like, hey, multiple of us will eat these to show that they're not poisonous?
You hear like a really distrusting, disgruntled kind of humming noise from this figure that you've been talking to over the barricade. And you hear another voice going, "But Alabaster, we're so hungry." Fine. Hand over the food and nobody gets hurt.
I'm offering it to you freely. Here, there's 8 here. Let me know how you like those.
You hear some, like, suspicious muttering coming from behind once the good berries are passed back over. They're fine, thank you.
Great. Maybe now that our tummies aren't rumbling, you know, we can like have like a little bit more of a level head, and you know, like I said, I would just love to just talk to Nick, just get his head right, you know, because I mean, you could just straight kill him, but that's really not gonna get you what you want, right?
We beg to differ. We kill him, kill those overgrown cows, and then the land is ours.
So if Nick dies, this entire demiplane could collapse. I figured you should probably know that, because if he's the center point of it, there's a good chance that it could collapse, just, you know, harmlessly placing everybody outside of it. But you may end up in the middle of Gerass, a war-torn city.
What?
Or in the middle of the desert. You know, we don't know.
Yeah, there's that. Or you could end up in the middle of Azarkul's camp, where you will be violently killed and resurrected as his minions, or as an undead minion for Ebelakrai.
Nice.
Okay, Chance, can you give me a persuasion check using your intelligence instead of your charisma?
Yes.
Arazid, are you whispering to me? You hear
Yeah,
your head?
I'm just trying to say that maybe intimidation isn't the best. We could actually maybe use these guys to fight in the war if they're
So
actually good.
persuasion, I don't have.
Plus
I don't
5,
know,
really.
right?
Yeah.
5.
Isn't the outside world so fucking great? Let's show
I
it.
really don't feel right using these poor laborers as soldiers.
That's how war works. Everyone dies. Everyone dies. We need the help.
Arazid.
Is a 12 your
Just
final answer?
Yeah, I don't have proficiency, so it's just plus 5.
Another trick from fascist lapdogs.
Okay. Do you know what the word fascist means, like, actually?
People who abuse their power.
Yeah, that's actually kind of accurate. That's kind of accurate. Okay, I mean, the
You're like,
definition
fuck,
is
that's
not
actually
the
true.
person.
You really thought you had
this-
something there.
Isn't this map accurate? That's like 30 feet
Oh,
away.
nah.
Okay.
It would be more like that, I think. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna Nick and see if we can get this sorted out.
One
Right?
of you can come in with no weapons, with your hands bound. No magic
think
business
that
here.
Alright. I think I probably am the best equipped at that point then.
Are we sure, Chance?
Yeah.
Chance hears it in his head. Promise me you won't kill all of these elves.
Chance will nod, kind of leaning. Look, you're gonna be holding my sword anyways. As with that, Chance, unlatches Sun's Tear from his belt, hands it to Audra, takes out the dagger of venom, hands it to Audra.
I forgot how heavy these are.
Let's see. You don't want any magic. I do have magic items that I'm attuned to. Specifically, and Chance will just like pull up his sleeves, showing off like the chains going down his arms with the tattoo. This tattoo would take, a little while to unattune to. It allows that if I hit somebody, I can deal more damage and heal back. However, that wouldn't be happening, but we can take the time and I can unattune to it if you want.
With your hands bound, that should be enough.
Alright, anything else I have is Chance, like, just pats himself down, going over, like, in his head. No, those are all my weapons. Do you want to do the bounding, or?
Yes. You see like
cool.
a little bit of the barricade like move aside, like a cabinet seems to be just pushed, and a small gap appears. Stick your hands through here.
I'm gonna give Chance a
Chance.
kiss on the cheek.
Chance will do so.
And they're bound with a sparkly silver ribbon. And like your bounds like your fingers are all bound together, and basically like the first half of your forearms are all like bound, sticking to one another as well. It's quite tight. Someone seems to be pretty adept at making knots out of ribbon. Arazid, do you want to take this opportunity to sneak in after after Chance?
Oh, absolutely, 100%, without a question. I'm not letting them take my boy alone. He just got over his existential dread, kind of, maybe. Doubt it, actually, but he will get over it.
With that, Chance will kind of look to them, awaiting.
Okay, Arazid, do you want to roll a stealth check with advantage?
Yars. With advantage from my darn hood. I don't know why I did Gideon Gleeful voice, but that's okay. Oh, I'm zooming in and out, and it's getting worse. Am I hidden? Do you think perhaps I could be hidden? Do you think that I'm hidden?
You feel pretty happy in the knowledge that you were hidden.
Arazid disappears from the narrative.
Arazid was never here.
Arazid pulls a page out of Providence's book. And with that, Chance and Arazid are led down to the hut that Nick is in.
I was really prepared to roll a 1 and a 2. I felt it in my bones.
Outside, you see a collection of elves. Ah. Strangers, come to kill him, have ya?
Chance will raise his bound hands. I'm the negotiator. I'm assuming Arazid wouldn't be down here with, all the elves just kind of there.
I'm trying to find a place that makes narrative sense. I think here is maybe good.
At her, hide up.
It's probably one of the
behind the
more ideal
houses.
places.
With that, Chance is gonna walk up and knock on the door with his bound hands.
Finally decided to stop, have you?
No, I'm here to help negotiate a peaceful solution.
You hear a bed being, like, dragged aside. It's part of the map, so I can't move it physically, but just imagine. And then the door opens, and you see another minotaur. This one, you were told, is Astrid. And you just see, like, the top of Nick's pointy ears quivering from behind one of the other beds.
Chance is going to, if he's allowed, take a step in. The other side.
As you, step in, you see that there's a couple of, soot marks, scorch marks on the side of the cabin from what you assume is the alchemist's fire that was talked about.
Chance of them kind of, sit on the edge of the bed, facing, towards where Nick is. They're just gonna kind of, lean against, well, I suppose if there's, a foot of the bed, you can, lean against it.
Oh, excuse me. You see, Nick's head pop up, and he, skitters over to you. Ah! Golly, it's you!
Yeah, Dolly came and got, the four of us that are here. We were told of the situation. We've spoken to the elves. I was allowed to come in, try and negotiate some things. Get your side of the story. See what we can do to get things sorted out.
I must give Dolly a raise. Things are not going well in Happy Land.
I can see that. Things aren't going well outside.
They're trying to kill me, Chance.
Well, how about we start at the start? It seems that they're upset about working conditions and want things to be fixed, but when you started asking questions is when they got angry and violent. What kind of questions were you asking?
Why they didn't clean up after themselves. They were free to do so.
You see, that's the wrong kind of question. The right kind of question would be, well, how can we make this not happen again? I mean, think of it in the business sense. If they're constantly having accidents and needing time off, then you're not going to be making as much profit. If they're not as happy and revolting, then they're not going to be as productive. 20-hour work days, Nick. Let me tell you what. Give in to their demands a bit. Make it seem like, you're, listening to them. I'm sure they'll be happy and more productive.
A compromise, you say?
Look, we don't need to do specific things. Perhaps they want holidays on the outside. Perhaps, let one person go, see how it is, and if they want to go outside, perhaps one will come back with tales of the terror of the outside. Depending on where they go out. There is the active war going on. Plenty of terrible things happening. Well, at least for another week or so, because we did kind of start the process of destroying the orbs to remake the world, which, we think we only have about a week before that kind of fails and we kind of doom the world forever, so we're gonna have to finish that because some asshole decided to destroy his orb before we all decided to do it at the same time because he wanted to be a little prissy pants and go off on his own adventure, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh my golly. But one of my many concerns is that if even just one of them is allowed out, they're going to sell my formulas.
Look,
These secret formulas.
How much of a powerful magic being are you, Nick?
I'm more of a creator than I am a caster.
Do you have, and other than the elves, is there anybody here with a decent amount of magic?
Well, I have made sure to train up some of my guards in the clerical arts, so that we could heal the workers that got injured.
It's good. I'm thinking of, contracts and vows and binding things. If there's ways of, ensuring that they won't. They have to agree to within, our compromise and everything, they'll have to agree that they can't sell any of your secrets or tell another soul. In exchange, you'll, let them out. It's give and take. And then if they do, then there's issue, and then you have grounds of saying, you said that you wouldn't do this. And you signed the contract that said you wouldn't do this. So then you have grounds to either kick them out or do whatever punishment is reasonable. I wouldn't say killing people over secrets is reasonable, but if you were to say not let them back in, or kick them out if they're within, that could be seen as reasonable.
I do see what you mean, but I can't take the risk of the formulas being dropped regardless. Look, you say there is a war going on.
Yeah.
What if
currently
What
there's
if
a-
I released a couple of the elves into your custody for the day? That way you could keep an eye on them, make sure they don't run away or sell anything that they shouldn't to anyone they shouldn't. And then they can see the horror of war and realize that it is better to be one of my workers.
That's what I didn't hear this, but yeah, that's.
You could have substituted the word slave in there and it would have been, like, indistinguishable.
I may or may
don't
not have stuttered
know.
an S, yeah.
I don't know if that's the best time to do this. If it wasn't that there was a giant attack imminent, perhaps. But there's a chance tomorrow that we all die, Jurass falls, and we lose the chance to restore the world to what it was. I'm guessing whoever next the prophecy actually spoke about to save the world would come along and realize, hey, these fuckers completely, screwed the pooch. The world can't be saved because they decided to undo the orbs and not complete the ritual within the allotted time frame. All these other wonderful things, etc., etc.
I do see where you're coming from, yes.
Here's an idea. Have it so that the clause for them to be allowed to go on their little breaks and everything is after we undo the world. We are told that it's going to create wanton destruction and basically be another doomsday that destroys civilization as we know it. You then let them out after civilization's destroyed. They see that the world's kind of gone to shit, and that it's a flooded wasteland of, there's nobody around. There's no risk of them selling your secrets, because the only people who are going to be alive is people probably near us, because we're going to try and get as many people to high places as we can to try and save them. But we're going to be picking up the pieces of rebuilding everything. So I'm sure people aren't really going to be looking to buy magical secrets more than they are worried about where they're going to sleep for the night.
You have just given me a good idea. If I can get a hold of the factory once again, I can create necklaces that look like ordinary necklaces, but they cannot be removed by the wearer, only by me. And while the wearer is wearing them, they are under certain compulsions. Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Their free will
if
is the
that
problem.
one, look, if the agreement is that they only have to wear them when they go outside,
Oh, yes.
to ensure that, they don't tell your secrets to anybody, and that is the only thing, and we confirm that that is the only thing that they do, I'm sure that will be fine, as long as you, meet their demands, give them less hours to work. Cut it down to, 10 hours. They want a health and safety board, give it to them. Why not? I mean, if anything, if your factory is more safe, then they're going to be more productive. If they're happy, they're going to be more productive. Right now, things are at a standstill. Whenever they're working 20 hours and miserable, were they making the same quality and quantity of goods as, when things first started and they might have been happy about things?
I will confess they have not been producing quite the same level of happy little innovations as before. Maybe happiness is not something to overlook with your workers. Very well. I will give them their health and safety board. I will let them choose someone to meet with me, to hear out more of their demands. I will discuss with them. Time off.
Okay. Here's another fun suggestion coming from me. How about we have an anonymous suggestion box that is, maybe kept with the foreman, and, once a month or once a week or once every 2 weeks, whenever, you and the foreman can go through the suggestions and see if you can implement things or change things before things get this bad again.
Your suggestion is noted.
I, as Sarah, want to kill this guy.
Look. All I'm saying is that if, we do these changes to help you get control back and everybody happy, but then, a few weeks down the line, there's an issue, and you don't change and, show that you're changed and are going to do things differently, you're going to be right back in the same situation. We could be dead, and nobody will be coming to help you.
And that won't be a problem.
So just, things to consider. That, perhaps you should listen to them, change your ways a little bit. I'm not saying you need to overnight give the keys away, but, it's a give and take relation, right?
Can you return to whomever is in charge? It's probably Peppermint Sticks' brother. He was always an annoying one. His name is Jerky Sticks.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was, yeah.
High voice. Talks about fascism.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell him that I want those that are waiting outside gone. And I want access to my factory again. And I want them to decide on someone to meet with me, and then we will negotiate.
Alright, I'm glad that we could get this far at least. I'll probably suggest that the four of us are allowed to Are you okay if, myself, and, like, the people that I came with, Arazid, Audra, Providence are there to help negotiate and ensure that everybody is treated fairly.
Considering my own attempts have gone poorly, I really don't see I have a choice in the matter. So, very well.
Perfect. All right, we have a deal. I will go. Let Jerky know, and we can get things sorted. You know, we'll make sure things get sorted and everything ends up all right. With that, Chance will kind of get up from the bed, nod.
Mm.
And, you know, once things are moved, exit once again, stand in the doorway until the door is closed so nobody could throw fire. Once the door is closed and I'm assuming, does Chance hear, like, the bed being shifted again to barricade? Yeah, he's gonna stand there and wait until things are done before moving.
And there's been a lot of muttering that Arazid, you've been overhearing them, like, talking about all the ways in which they've been injured and the resentment they feel towards Nick, and how some of the Minotaurs are a lot more liberal with physical punishments than they feel is justified.
Judging from their conversation, am I able to tell if this is like new behavior or if this has been going on for like as long as we've known Nick?
Judging from like the tone and like the matter-of-fact way in which they're saying it, it seems like this is something that's been going on for a really long time. There seems to be this loss of a lot of them are like saying like rest in peace, Pepper. It seems that her death in particular, she seems to have been quite a well-loved character, and her death has really been like the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially. But then there's you also hear talks of some prisoners of war up on the hill.
Do they speak more about these prisoners?
They mentioned something about a vigil being interrupted, and how unfair that was.
Ren, you're gonna make us kill Santa.
I think I'm gonna check on the prisoners of war. I feel bad, and I want to talk to Nick and see what the hell's wrong with him. 'Cause, you know, I may have been put to work as a child, but at least I got hugs from my family who loved me, you know? Like, there's these guys don't sound very loved, and that makes Arazid sad.
I mean, they seem to love one another, yeah, but it doesn't seem like the working conditions are making up for, making up for it. So if you want to...
And also, 20 hours is egregious. I think Arazid was speaking before he knew about the whole 20-hour thing, because he only worked, like, maybe 12. 20 hours is ridiculous.
12 is also ridiculous.
Well, it's dystopia. It's bad. It's bad out here. But 20 hours is just, even for it being bad, is really bad. So I think he's gonna go speak to the prisoners up on the hill and see what they did or what they were responsible for, and then make the executive choice whether to murder everyone before Chance gets back.
Alrighty. So you learned from the map that the prison is at number 13.
Beautiful.
Which is all the way over here.
I will sneak my way over there.
Honestly, the best time to do that, because you'd have to sneak over the barricade again, would probably be to, like, follow Chance out.
Gotcha. And I know this because my sneak is so good, then I can't fail.
It's pretty heckin' good.
I
But, yeah, that would also give you the opportunity to tell the others about what you've overheard.
Chance exits, and he heads back to the barricade.
Well... What does our Lord and Saviour have to say for himself, then,
I've been able to discuss some things. if you all can choose a single representative among yourselves to discuss with Nick, the four of us, myself, and like Chance will kind of motion over the barricade to the the rest of the party. We will act as the mediators in this discussion. Nick said that, well, first Nick would like those who were kind of standing outside hurling alchemist fire at his building to please leave. Then, he's willing to have a discussion with one representative from your people. We will be there as mediators, and we will try and get the best resolution of things.
We are going to leave one person from a distance watching the hut, just to make sure that he doesn't go anywhere and do anything to bother us, while we will all reconvene inside central manufacturing and choose a leader. And Jerk seems to turn to the others, whisper in their ear, and a couple of them run off to seemingly gather other additional people. The barricade is pulled apart once again by Jerk, and he gestures for you, not knowing there's two of you, to exit.
Yep. Chance will exit, kind of putting his arms back over for them to untie.
They are untied. And there's a pressure you didn't really realise was there until it was gone. Your arms feel quite released now. An Arazid reappears, and I assume this is when you talk about a prisoner of war situation.
Yeah, I talk about prisoner of war. I kind of, if Dolly's, I want to bring Dolly into the conversation, so I kind of leave out the part about the Minotaurs being pieces of shit. And then I just kind of go, yeah, it seems, I guess kind of was maybe thinking that Nick was kind of going through something, but this seems like it was happening for a long time, and it's worse than I initially thought, and I'm no longer thinking these guys are just crybabies that have never known true war and suffering.
You thought that.
I live in the mountains where it's bad. You're from Grove where everything is good, okay? The life that you've lived is not the life of the times that we have found ourselves
literally
in.
used to torture people for fun and then put a piece of a evil blood god inside of my body.
Yeah, but you had books that let you know that wasn't okay. I didn't know how to read.
Dagger back. He's gonna look to Dolly. Question for you, Dolly. Did all of this going downhill start when Lappy died?
Yes. Nick was never really the same after that.
I found the issue, then. We have found the root of the issue. This isn't a reason why Nick can be a piece of shit to the elves. But at least we have found the root of his issues, and perhaps if we help him get better, things will get better for the elves as well.
Dolly kind of steps forward into and tries to form a huddle with all of you so that no one else can hear.
Yeah, of course.
For the record, Lappy isn't really dead. We are just told to say that. She left him.
Well, no wonder!
What? Do we know where Lappy's at now? Can we...
We haven't kept up.
Also, did she leave with good reason? Should we leave her alone?
It wasn't anything so, hostile, as I think you're hinting of. It was... She was honestly the real brains behind the beginnings of this operation. She's the one who was able to really create things. And I believe one day she decided to go out hunting for new inspiration for magical items, and she never returned.
Chance is gonna take this information and he is going to do some thinking. Have the party ever run across somebody who seems to fit this description and may have, not given a true name?
You can roll a history check if you like, or like
That's-
peruse the lexicon of character names for yourself.
21.
I would like to give the help action also by just like rattling off names.
I mean, there's a couple of Jesus Christ.
That's when Arazid says the correct
It really
name, and
is
Chance is
Christmas.
just like, aha!
It's like that Sherlock moment where someone says something innocuous and it just like, brings things together. So a couple of names that ring out to you. There's a lot of you don't know of any female goblins that are particularly creative, but you remember a item that Solas was given quite a few years ago that was able to disguise someone as any other appearance. And then the scope of names that Arazid is rattling off seems to widen up a bit. There's Sabra Bolsa, Madame Lulu, there's Kay Anderson, even Madame Ava. There's a lot of potential people that it could be. But your thoughts keep going back to a much more recent encounter when a mysterious and magical woman with a name that is definitely an alias or a title of some form gave you one of the most powerful magic items in the game as if it was nothing, and without any form of hesitancy threatened to end you. Madame Lulu. Or is it Madame Lappy?
So yeah, I'm just going through names and I'm like, I don't know, like
Chance is just like sitting there, like rubbing his chin. There is one person that comes to mind who, selflessly gave away one of the most powerful magics that can be cast via a magic item, and threatened to kill me in the same breath if I didn't use it exactly as she wanted. Huh.
Madame Lulu.
Yeah. Don't you find it weird that she just kind of like from what you said, rolled into town one day and just kind of, became one of the most influential people with her deck of cards?
I mean, I did until I left Grove, and then I did that to a bunch of other towns, so...
Yeah, but that's not really normal, that somebody just kind of rolls in and becomes one of the most influential people
Well, yeah,
with
but
a
sometimes
magical
people
deck of cards.
aren't normal.
Yeah, but we're also, the Hexa, the prophecy and everything, like, we're not normal either. A normal everyday person doesn't roll in with a deck of cards and just makes things happen. Was this Lappy known for making, a deck of magic cards?
I've never seen that kind of item before, but it wouldn't be beyond my expectations of her.
You'll be happy to know she's doing really, really well for herself.
Well, if this is the correct person, this is just who I think out of like the people that we know, but there's a chance that we could have never ran into this person. I can go check, because I can teleport out, teleport back. 5-minute adventure.
In the meantime, do the others want to go chase the lead that Arazid had? It
Yeah,
seems as
I
if
can-
Providence is chosen.
Oh
I
yeah,
think-
she went ages ago.
Yeah. She heard, like, there's some prisoners on top of a hill, and Providence was like, right. Slaps thighs.
She was just like, right, they seem to have got this. I'm just gonna go aimlessly wander.
Oh, can we transport out of this plane, or do we have to like go out the front door?
Does transport work across dimensions? I mean, teleport.
Plane shift does.
Oh yeah, it
I
must
was
be on the
also
same
wondering-
plane of existence.
Yeah.
No, you would need
This
to
is a
take the
demi-plane,
front
so-
door out.
Well. Huh. This recontextualizes a lot of things, you know?
Oh.
Just the fact of why somebody would be so willing to hand away a wish spell all willy-nilly if they can just create very powerful magic items.
I mean, Madame Lulu also loves Grove.
Yeah. But what if we move the factory to Grove?
No, I don't think I want this in Grove. The air smells bad, and these people are all extremely unhappy, and I don't think I like this version of economy.
No, but think of it. Grove is now the capital of magic items. The elves and everybody can choose if they want to continue working here. Madame Lulu can take over again and perhaps, make things better. We kick Nick out. And then, we can hire people from Grove on. And the people here can choose if they want to continue at the factory or if they want to, maybe take up farming. Take up, other positions within Grove. And then they have more free time and they can, spend it within Grove.
I just
And-
don't know
and-
if magic item creation is even like a moral industry to get into.
Why would it not be? We've done it. Or at least I have.
Well, we mostly use magic items to kill people.
I mean, just because I weaved the magic of the sword and made it better to restore it to its former glory, doesn't mean that all magic items are bad. Do you know how much we could make off selling thermoses like Arazid's? Just infinite hot
Well,
jockey?
I mean, if we flood the market, then the value will go down anyways. But also,
Yeah, but the novelty of it, for the first little bit, followed by, consistent sales. I mean, it's infinite hot jockey. It's infinite, like, we could
we
create
have
one
more
that's
money than we
infinite
could
clean
ever
water.
need, and I honestly don't think money's that great anyways, Chance.
No, Chance doesn't go that far.
You've already gone too far.
Think of it. We can set up for generations to come of Grove's prosperity.
Or we could just, create more farmland and actually take care of the earth and make sure people have food for the next couple of generations and the air is breathable. I mean, do you taste the air here?
No?
It tastes like a sewer.
No, it doesn't. We've been in the sewer of Duras. It doesn't taste like that air.
So in the meantime, as you guys are discussing this, Providence goes down this quite scenic forest route and comes across a frozen lake. There's a lot of they look like shoes, but also weapons that are kind of scattered nearby this cabin. Lots of different sizes, and you see that the lake itself has got lots of scratch marks over the frozen surface.
Probably just walks around it. Notices it and just like...
About a minute or two later, Arazid will see the same sight.
I put on gun, shoot weapon, shoot weapon.
You find a pair small enough to fit you. They're really shoved like towards the back though, and as you fish them out, you see that they have a name tag on them that says Lappy.
Oh, I don't feel good about this, but I put them on anyway.
They're quite hard to walk in. You wonder as you're like trudging around the snow what use these would have.
I jump in them to try to trigger something.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw. Oh, no, sorry. Roll me an acrobatics check.
Oh, that shouldn't be at advantage. Fuck, sorry. That shouldn't be at advantage, but it's just a 17. Just a 17.
Alright. You land safely, but you kind of like totter a little bit. And like as you totter backwards, one of your feet lands on the ice. And suddenly the shoe is like slipping away on the ice.
Oh, well.
And you're
I
being
didn't see
forced into a
practical use
split.
for it. I didn't see a practical use for them, so I just kind of like kick my leg free and then kind of slide my leg over towards the rest of my body.
As in, like, you kick the leg that's on the ice, like, away from the ice, or...
Look, I try to kick the shoe off and then slide my leg back towards...
Arazid just falls back into the snowbank.
Your foot's cold.
That wasn't worth it. I don't know what that was for.
It's
didn't
now
work
just
like
a boot lying on the ice about... It kind of slid a little while, so it's lying about 10 feet into the ice. And meanwhile, Providence has been following the winding forest path further up.
Probably.
To the prison.
Prison sounds fun. Unless you're there.
You see a lone minotaur sitting like just inside the door. Unlike many places, there's quite a actually nice roaring fire coming from this building.
What does it smell like?
It smells like warm burning smoke and a hint of something like spicy.
Okay, it wasn't my first thought. That's good. Wait, you said there was prisoners? She looks down at Arazid, but at the same time is looking down at Arazid, like the turn of phrase and the height difference.
Oh no!
You said there were prisoners in here?
Yeah.
So what are we doing about it?
I'm talking to him, I guess.
Okay.
That was the plan.
She just walks up.
Enter the door, talk to the Minotaur.
Yeah.
The one behind the desk seems to be reading some kind of book as you approach. He puts it down, stands up. Ah, you must be the ones Dolly went to go find. I'm
Yep.
Kabob.
Right. Prisoners need to speak to them to try and deal with this whole... I'd call it a situation, but it's so beneath my attention span. Yes, need to speak to the prisoners, please.
Very well. Kebab grabs a key from behind the desk and then walks out of the building and then rounds to this other building. Which...
Oh, wait. Can we say that before I left, I did my mind link thing with Chance and Audra?
You what?
I did my little psionic mind link thing before we left with Chance and Audra.
Okay. Because you guys are heading back to the real world right now, right?
Oh, well then I don't know if that will still work then, because it's only a mile.
I am not familiar enough with the subclass.
I mean, Chance is interested, or would definitely be interested in, he can step out, take a quick teleport to Grove, take a quick teleport back, go talk.
Yeah, I think Audra is going with him, and the whole time they're arguing about how Audra's like, I am not bringing child labor to Grove.
I mean, Chance is also against child labor, but adult labor to make magical items. Like, Chance is now trying to, scale it back. Like, oh, but what if we just, scale it back to, instead of, a big factory, we just do, a big building. And we don't, have the same, furnaces burning. We just have, other stuff.
Do we know if the furnaces are a necessary component? Because they look like steam furnaces to me, which means industry.
Yeah, but we can scale it back to a more natural mom and pop enchanting shop.
Okay, maybe we the back house used to have more magical items and stuff. Maybe we reinstate the back house as an apprenticeship program and let people learn the trade and utilize it.
Ah, perfect. And then we can have people, they can open their own magic item shops, and we can have a
if they want, yeah, and it's not all regulated by us, because I feel like in a situation like this where everything is regulated by one person or a state, it's you have more opportunities for tyranny. They need a definition of the word, Chance.
Okay, as Providence and Arazid are wandering in, I'll say that Arazid, you established the link just before you left Audra and Chance, and it'll be active for as long as they're on the same plane as you, basically.
And it'll be active for 4 hours.
Well, who knows? If they come back, it might be re-established.
I was gonna say, if we come back, do you have to re-establish it, or does it just snap back into place?
It is honestly not clear, so I'm just gonna say yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So you guys are also heading back into the real world, so I think this is a great time to take a wee little break.
Yay, yippee, yay, yippee!
Yahoo!
Let's create divorce for this couple.
Matrimonial bliss. Matrodontial.
Hey.
Dolly waves a hand, and that swirling blue vortex reappears once more. I will wait.
So how do you know that we're going to be coming back? Or can you dump us out in Grove so I don't have to use my teleport?
I can do that. He kind of waves his hand again, and the vortex shifts very slightly, and there's a kind of warm, sweet smell in the air coming from it.
Perfect.
I know
Thank
you're
you.
coming back because I know that you want more magic items.
Yeah, and half our friends are here.
And that too.
I think that's more of the issue is, half our... I guess more of a, it's more like a third of our friends.
Oh yeah,
Third?
we've made so many friends. But we'll for sure be back for these ones.
I will wait just on the outside of the portal.
Okay.
Catch me just deleting all of the things that shouldn't be there anymore. Who else shouldn't be here?
Even though we were arguing 2 seconds ago, I still hold Chance's hand as we go through the portal.
Audra is definitely one of those don't go to bed mad at each other people.
And don't go through portals mad at each other either.
I mean, this is Chance less being angry and like arguing, more of like, I think this is a very interesting, route and opportunity to expand Grove. Alright, so let's try and just like run, get Madame Lulu, talk and try and like get back. Let's not make this like a big coming back trip.
Right.
This
right.
like
okay, you might have maybe we should stealth through Grove because like people always want to talk to me. And also, if people knew that I was here and I didn't say hi to them, they might get mad at me.
Good idea.
Okay, we attempt to sneak through Grove to the portal.
You're very familiar with Grove. It's definitely not the first time you'd have snuck about either, so give me some stealth checks.
And I get advantage because of my talent.
Holy fuck, Chance.
We sneak.
Well, it's not my first time. It's not my first time sneaking through a city.
So you guys, you stick to the tree line, you realise that'd be best, and you know where Madame Lulu is going to be. She'll be at the Blushing Gnome. So from here it's a pretty straight shot, and the city is exceedingly quiet these days, as a good portion of people are currently in duress. The brothel is closed. There's a little glass pane on the front door, and there's a little sign that says closed that's just hanging there.
Chance doesn't care. He pushes the door open.
The door is
are there
locked.
any lights on in here?
Oh.
A locked door,
Howard,
curses!
Look, I can pick this lock, but I don't know if that's something you want.
I mean, is she even here? I'm gonna look inside and see if there are any lights on, any signs of anyone actually being inside.
You don't see any lights peering through the door, but on the window on the first floor, or second floor for I think all North Americans, the floor above the one that you're looking through.
Second floor.
There is a flickering candle.
Is the window closed or open?
Closed.
Oh, I can go knock on the window.
I mean, yeah, I can go knock on the window too, but yeah, go knock on the window.
You float up, as you, come eye level with the window, you see that Madame Lulu is indeed inside, and she is currently doing her makeup. But there's a mournful air about her. Do you knock on the window?
Until she finishes her eyeliner.
She's currently
Chance
doing
is,
blush.
waiting. Yeah, Chance goes up with the the boots, looks towards Audra, and's I'm gonna wait for Audra's cue because I'm not going to interrupt this.
I'm gonna wait for whenever Madame Lulu is between applications, when you put the brush down and you're patting the whatever you're getting your blush out of, and then I'm gonna signal. now.
She finishes a bold swipe across her cheek, which adds a beautiful rouge color. And you see that she just kind of she taps the edge of the brush against a small compact jar. And I guess that's when Audra goes, now.
Yeah. I would like to think that the chance is just like bridal carrying Audra like up to the window.
Oh
Cute.
yeah.
Like this is just a team effort at this point.
Couple goals. So Audra would probably end up just like
Nah, 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 nah.
Madame Lulu startles a bit, looks over to the window, puts the brush down.
Just smiling and waving like this is normal.
She gets up, she organizes her layers of silk robes. She looks like a queen right now, and so there's an air of like a quiet confidence in the way she holds her body. As she gets up and moves over to the window, opens it. Well, I must say it's
We tried the front, but it was, locked.
yeah. It's been quite a while since a handsome man knocked on my window.
Chance just is oblivious that this is anything close to flirting. He just kind of like oh.
Would you like to squeeze in, or would you like me to open the door?
I feel like we can. Chance, if you turn me at like a 45-degree angle, I feel like we can.
And Chance just like starts like walking, moving around.
Yeah, it's like a standard sized door. It's about 3 foot high, about 2.5 foot wide. It's a squeeze, but not impossible.
Yeah, this reminds me of being a teenager.
Yes.
And being an adult.
Alright, and then Chance is gonna like look at it, squint really hard, and then just going to, instead of squeezing through the window, he's just going to, Misty step inside.
I was honestly picturing him like floating horizontally. and like to his side, so one of his shoulders is like pointing towards the ground, and just like floating in that way, completely straight. But Misty step works too. Either way, the pair of you find your way into Madame Lulu's quarters, the table that you are somewhat familiar with, that may or may not have been a place where cards were dealt, lies before you, as her vanity is also covered in makeup items. She sits down at her entertaining table. To what do I owe this pleasure?
Hi, Madame Lulu. So we've been very busy. We found out some stuff maybe that might interest you, depending on your level of interest.
You don't happen to know a small goblin named Nick?
She's she's picking up a teapot and thinking about what to do with it as you say Nick. And with that, she just kind of fumbles it. It doesn't smash, but it lands with a not very pleasant noise back onto the table. I'm sure the name may ring a bell. Sooner or later, everyone of every name comes through my doors.
I think you know who we're talking about.
What about the name Lappy? Does that mean anything to you?
Her face darkens, she rises and just says, "Get out."
Oh, okay.
Hey. We're trying to help a situation that has arisen. Because the elves may or may not be in an active revolt against Nick.
Oh, of course, my idiot husband. I'm surprised at you, Asturias. You've really travelled in the last few months, haven't you?
I mean, I like to go new places.
Yes, and disturb well-trodden, forgotten ground for some of us.
Sorry, I just, we thought you might want to know.
Yeah, I kind of put the pieces together. So if you want to blame anybody, blame me. Because I'm the one who kind of like put the pieces together, connected the dots. Realized who gives a wish spell away with only a vague threat of death if you don't use it how you're supposed to.
She picks up a napkin and throws it at your face. Like it's a kind of like a heavier cloth napkin.
Yeah, Chance makes no reaction to dodge.
I do blame you. But, you are big damn heroes, are you not? I really should have seen this coming.
I'm really sorry. On honestly, on like further reflection, maybe this wasn't a great idea. Obviously, you don't associate with that name anymore, and you didn't really want to be found, it seems like.
Why don't you sit down?
Oh, okay. I was gonna get out, but okay, I'll sit down.
She like picks up the teapot, examines it, makes sure that it's it's not broken. She opens like the little top of the teacup, like moves it around a lot, and you can see that inside it's empty, and she's just making sure there's no cracks. She pops the lid back on and then tips out a steaming hot, really fragrant smelling tea into 3 of the 4 cups in front of her. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that the name Lappy is dead to me per se, but I have learnt to enjoy this new persona of mine.
We're not trying to take that away from you or force you back or anything. We just wanted to talk about the situation and see if you could offer some guidance or, maybe help resolve the issue.
Very well. Tell me of the issue.
Well, the workers want better conditions, better hours and everything, and one of them's going off about this thing called fascism.
That sounds like Jack Quay.
Yeah. And Nick tried to negotiate, but from my discussion with him, it seemed more of a blaming than an actual good discussion. And when I questioned a bit more, it's whenever you left that everything started going downhill, so I figured, let's go see if, my suspicions are right, and potentially help with, maybe see if, you could help us with reconciling things between, Nick and the others,
Or
perhaps
just
give
tell
some
us if
insight of,
Nick
why...
really just
why
like a
Nick
bad
is such a-
guy. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Because it seems to me that he's, 2 steps away from putting slave collars on them.
He did what? He said what?
Oh, no, he's, two steps away. Because I tried to, make some mentions of, letting them out and everything, and he was, made mentions of, but what if they sell my secrets? And I was like, maybe make a, contract to say that they're not allowed to, and in return they're allowed to, have their holidays, and...
I mean, are they even his secrets, or did the workers come up with these ideas on their own, maybe?
I mean, that's a good point, but I was just trying to offer compromise, and then he was saying about, if he could get back in, he could make necklaces, and, things that only he could take off, and it honestly started to sound kind of evil.
I don't like that at all. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were. I'm just gonna do it right now.
Gosh, when I left that place, the Minotaur cubs were, well, they were children, 4, 5 years old. We didn't have guards. We didn't have any form of a discipline system. People came to work when they wanted to. We provided ample breaks. And we did what we could. We made art, darling. It sounds like things have changed a lot.
Yeah, Nick has turned it into this, like, factory, and it's honestly kind of gross. Like, the people work all of the time, and they're so sad, and they get hurt a lot. And then he's like, oh, well, I'll just magic their limb back, as if that takes away all of their pain and suffering. And apparently workers have died because of the conditions.
Oh. Who has died?
I think the most recent one was peppermint bark.
No.
Or
peppermint sticks? She was my lady in waiting.
Everyone really seemed to love her.
She was a beautiful soul.
I mean, we have the magic and power to just bring her back, do we not? I mean, between the three of us, I'm sure we can, in some way or form.
That would require one of us returning there.
Oh, well, me and Audra have to go back. We still have, Providence and Arazid are there. They went to go, investigate, I think, the prison.
Oh yeah, some of the elves have been taken prisoner.
Do you know who?
Do we know who?
You didn't stop to ask, if I recall.
There are like 84 of them, so it's been kind of hard to get like individual names. They don't all. I mean, when I walk into a room, I introduce myself, but they don't always all do that.
There's 47 of the elves, 9 minotaurs, and 1 Nick. Was the math.
3 of them. 3 of the elves were taken prisoner.
So we have 3 elves prisoners. That leaves 44 elves free and actively revolting. They were throwing alchemist fire at Nick, and one of the minotaurs are with him hiding in a building within the village, I think.
He's so cute when he's scared. Look, I left the grotto, Lappy Lands, as he liked to call it, to start a new, asteroid business. You know,
It's an asteroid.
It's something that circles a larger body. I thought I would set up a more permanent location here on the material plane. And I thought maybe I could find in some ancient ruins some inspiration for more interesting formula. But in the end, I ended up enjoying it a bit too much out here, and I just never got around to starting up that business. I know that the cards is why you suspected me, but they truly did come from a noble wizard lover of mine, a man long dead now.
Thirsty Jesus, thirsty Jesus, thirsty Jesus. Sorry.
His name was Barris.
Oh. Wait.
Oh,
Wait.
so don't do this, man. Don't do
Not-
this.
Wait.
Not
Like
Ophavarus.
Ophavarus?
Yes, I think that was his full name.
I mean, I think Artemis had him turned into a warforged, from what I could tell, like some kind of mechanical body. I mean, he's currently piloting the island. I can take you there if you really want.
Yeah, his consciousness is still very much alive.
You can see that
You
this
guys
is
just
like
can't
a
drop this shit on a woman with like no recourse. Like you just said it. Like okay.
Chance has 0 tact. I'm sorry.
you can see that it's definitely this is one of those times when someone's brain just kind of has to reboot for a second. She kind of like looks at you and is like, "But oh, that would be most welcome, but I think perhaps I should deal with the remnants of my past before I see him."
Yeah, I mean, closure is great. I would offer you a good berry, but I actually gave all of mine away to the
I mean,
elves.
I don't know, like, if you want to, one of the Minotaurs are out there, he's kind of opening, like, the pocket dimension.
Oh, which one? Thresher?
No. God, I'm bad
Visor?
with names.
Flash?
Was it Dolly or was it
Dolly, yes,
Dolly! Oh, the sweetest little thing.
Because if you, I don't know if you want to go back there to help settle things, but if you do, we can then drop out into Duras. Everything can be settled. We can escort you over to the island where Ophavarus is kind of, maintaining things.
Very well. But this is my new form. This is what you get. If he does not
I would
accept
never
this,
ask you to change, Madame Lulu.
good for you. And I have certain obligations to Grove now. I am a council member for the next 2 years, after all. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah. I mean, once that we resolve all this, I can also just, teleport us all back.
Yeah, and
Honestly,
honestly, as a
I can
citizen
take
of
the
Grove,
orb
I
from Ophavarus and get somebody else to control the island if that's what he wants to come back with you.
We shall see. For now, I just need to tell someone that I'm leaving. Lulu closes her eyes, and you can sense there's some telepathy going on. She, her eyelids kind of flutter and move around, and then she opens them again. Very well. I've asked Vera to take over for me in the time being.
Oh. Yeah, Vera seems pretty reliable. So are we going to take the window again?
A lady does not climb through windows.
Audra literally jumps out the window and turns into a bird halfway.
Lulu shuffles down the steps, goes past the, over the floor of the brothel proper, unlocks the front door, if Chance follows, waits for him to...
Oh, no. Chance is jumping out the window after Audra.
Okay. Well, Lulu will just, lock it behind her then. Ready.
And we bring back to Dolly.
Yeah. I'm gonna burb all the way to the portal, just because it's easier than going full stealth.
Dolly, my dear! Oh, you've grown so much, look at you.
This is Madame Lulu, the current name of the one that we were here for.
Dolly, does take a second to catch on, but there's something very familiar to him about Lulu's speech pattern and like overall energy. Mother. I missed you. And the two hug. Shall we go see what your father has done with the place? Dolly waves his hand and the vortex reopens.
Alright. I boop into human form again and go through.
For her. I assume everyone kind of goes through, and in that case we return to the prison. Where Flash Kebab has just shown Providence and Arazid to the hut where the prisoners are being held. Inside you see 3 very unhappy elves. They're kind of all bunched in one corner, like trying to keep warm together. And they look up at you with suspicion as the door opens.
Just go in. I assume the door gets closed behind us.
Yeah.
Ugh. See whether I got in.
Arazid, have you rolled for hot chocky amount today?
Oh, nar. Wait, maybe. When was the last day?
Could have been last session.
Yeah.
Let me scroll up, because I might have actually.
So I'm seeing some d20s from chance, which I assume is the portent dice. That would have been marking the end of day, and I'm not seeing a d4 roll from you, so okay. So you have 2 remaining because you drunk 1 on the way in.
Yes. I say hello to the prisoner.
One of them kind of stands up, wobbling a little bit. Ah, they brought in mercenaries.
I'm sorry, what?
The individual rolls their eyes and looks at Providence to see if they understood what they were saying.
They're calling us sellswords. Arazid, they think we've been paid to be here. No, you're entirely mistaken. We've been dragged away from extremely important preparations for whatever the hell's going on here. I heard prisoners. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing I really care for is freedom in its purest form, and this isn't it. So why don't you start? Why were you locked in here? Start talking.
Well, we were holding a vigil for my mother, Pepper.
Right.
And it was apparently deemed too subversive. So, Thrasher and Nasher and what's the other one? Slasher and Cubert and Arpy. They all came to disperse our mourning. We didn't take too kindly to that, you see. So a couple of us, I can't say any names, may have thrown some rocks, snowballs, bottles of grease at the cows. And I blamed Pepper's family. So here we are.
Okay, so exactly what I thought. Okay. Looks over at Arazid.
Okay, so on the scale of like, I want to sleep a full night to fascist, screaming fascist, like where are you on the scale?
Are you calling me a fucking fascist, love?
No, I'm just saying where on the scale are you compared to like, hey, I would like to be able to sleep actually, and everyone's a fascist. I just need to know where you are on the scale. I need to know what was too revolutionary.
I'm sorry, I'm not really gonna boil my entire code of morality down to one single point on a binary scale that you can little slot in your box.
Well, you're gonna have to, because I don't understand any of what's going on.
I believe that my mother shouldn't have died.
That's fair.
And I would agree with that. I would put that pretty low on the scale. I think that's not exactly the most radical opinion to have, that your mom should not have died doing work. That's sad, and I'm sorry that that happened.
I believe that the Minotaurs should not have come in with sledgehammers, trying to break up a peaceful acknowledgement of a beloved woman's death.
Okay.
If you call me anti-fascist for that, well, I guess that's what I am.
I think that we there's something that we could do to help. If you would like, and I'm extending this offer to you because I think it's something that are there any like guards in the room right now with us?
No, there's just Kebab waiting outside.
I lean in real close and I go, listen, if you want, we can make a clean break out of here. We can murder all of these guys and we can just take you with us. Like, we can just do that. We can just do that right now.
We're a lot. Well, we can do a much cleaner solution than that.
I'd love to hear it if you have it, because I'm honestly ready to just, you know, just, you know.
If we fight
no.
state-mandated violence with violence of our own, I don't feel that that makes us any better than the state.
I don't think that's true, but I understand that belief. I just think it's wrong also.
Well, I believe that your belief is wrong, so...
We've been killing a lot of mayors. I think we've killed like 6. Maybe 7.
You have. Here. And Providence gives you this weird, almost shard. Hold on to this and go somewhere hidden, somewhere back by that lake.
Take this shiny thing and fuck off.
Basically. I'll get the rest of them out of here. I just need that away from here.
Okay. I don't know if I put you in my mind. Like, just scream really loudly if you need help.
Will do. Just tell the guard I'm gonna be asking some questions. You just need to...
Okay, do you want me
Go
to,
back.
like, let's say, ready myself to do anything?
Nope, just find somewhere hidden.
Okay,
Maybe in
I
the
fuck
forest
off.
by the lake.
I fuck off, but I do ready in action that if I see Providence being attacked, I'm gonna shoot them.
You're gonna shoot Providence?
Not Providence. I'm not gonna shoot Providence. I'm gonna shoot the person
Providence gets
attacking
attacked.
Providence.
Stabs Providence in the back.
I fuck off into the woods.
Oh my wa mo shinderu.
Oh, okay. I don't need Arazid to disappear for that. Never mind. I misread the ability.
I fuck back on.
Yeah. That's a sentence I don't think I've ever heard before.
Yeah. I don't want to use my main resources because I don't know whether are we gonna have a long rest after this. I wouldn't actually know.
It's like it's approaching dusk back in the real world, so you can intuit that there will be a long rest in your future, assuming that you're able to leave this place.
I mean, I'll pop a use of Psionic Mastery so I can just take off one value as opposed to a bunch of others. I guess you don't really see anything. She just taps a point in the air, and it just feels different. Doesn't look any different, just feels different. Walk through there. She's looking at the prisoners.
They look unsure and then just dash through.
Yep. They appear over here, like on the over here probably.
Cool.
So it's hidden from the guard tower and it's hidden from everywhere else. It's like, right. I think we need to go through. I need to dispel this as soon as I go through because they're going to notice when there's no prisoners. And she just gestures. Go on, Arazid.
Okay.
Go through the portal.
I didn't know I was included in guys.
Cool. And is that all of you?
Oh my! I'm just double checking whether or not there is anything just to hide this. No, okay. She goes through, and then we'll close the Nomad's gate behind, so it disappears completely.
As you reappear next to the lake, you can still hear, like vaguely on the wind, the idle whistling of Kebab. You know, like he still thinks he's waiting outside. He's just like, "Ha-ba-da-ba-ba."
Cool. Continue to think that. Right, you three. I'd advise staying out of town until all this blows over. Go hide somewhere, I don't know, and truthfully, I don't particularly care. Don't go back up to the prison. I can't be bothered to rescue you again. Hopefully this all blows over, because I've got more important things to do.
Oh yeah, that.
Hopefully you live a happy life. Bye.
We are definitely not about to raid the alchemy lab for a bunch more grenades.
No, you're not, because I'm doing that.
Do you want me to come with, or do you want me to stay with these guys?
Stay with
Well,
them.
I mean, you could stay with them if you want, but despite what they just said they're definitely not going to do, they also approached the alchemy lab.
I'm like corralling them, just like herding them like sheep.
The one 3'8" Arazid is trying to corral 3 6-foot+ elves.
Yeah, I'm just being like, okay, let's stay out of this. Like essentially, if they need to make stealth, I'm giving them help action.
I see. Well, they don't really stealth. They just kind of like run up to the alchemy lab. Providence.
I'm advising against that, but I understand.
The front door
Yeah,
is
no.
locked. Is there a particular way you would want to approach entering?
No, not yet. She just looks at the three owls like, Look, I broke you out of that place under the assumption that you were correct and you wouldn't match the violence that they enacted with violence of your own. Now, if you go in there and take things that will cause violence of that level, then there's going to be a problem, isn't there? Because then they're just going to retaliate, and then it's going to be you retaliating the retaliation, and it's just going to be an endless cycle of violence.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah, no, I was gonna steal some potions of sleep.
Yeah.
Thinking
Yeah,
about
I-
throwing those onto Nick and his cows.
Yeah, how about... No. You just wait and see what happens. Because we're gonna deal with this, and then we can all go back to living better lives.
I'm gonna need you
I don't know,
to
'cause-
try and persuade these guys to not try and avenge the death of their mother.
I'm not giving the help action. I'm sorry. I think
It's
that,
less
that should die.
persuading them to not avenge, it's persuading them to not commit arson.
I don't.
Ironic coming
no,
from
that's
you, but continue.
Oh, that's fine.
They seem quite convinced for now. Alright. Are we gonna let you in here? But if things aren't resolved soon, we're gonna take matters into our own hands. You get
Oh yeah,
me?
by all means. Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
Kinda
the lead one who's been communicating with you most of the time just like approaches the door and like hits like the top of the door frame in just like this one particular place, and the door just kind of swings open on its own.
That is some of the worst security I've ever seen.
Pretty old door. It's kind of it's dropped in the hinges a little bit.
Ah, fair enough.
Never really got around to saying anything about it because there's a little bit of pretty good brandy hidden in here somewhere.
Ooh. Might have something I want. I have got alcohol from the fucking past.
Well
Like,
aged.
whiskey from the past. Yes, extremely well aged. I just hand that to them. Like, there you go. I've kind of kicked the stuff recently. So,
They accept it, uncork it, sniff it, taste it. Look very impressed. Hand it to their family members. Alright, we're happy to wait here.
yeah, cool.
There is leagues and leagues of potions inside this building.
Holy.
Like every wall, like this building has one story. The actual like dimensions of the floor are about like 30 by 30 feet. But vertically, this building has got like 100 feet of space, and just all the shelves are filled with potions. The floor like barely fits in the ingredients to make these potions and areas to store, you know, the ingredients for them. A lot of the labels seem to be written in code or have like faded a lot. So depending on what you're looking for, it might be hard to find.
Everything.
Just all the things.
Yes. Just look at Arazid. Yes? No? Are we...
Yes. Always yes.
Maybe not always, yes.
99% of the time, yes.
How about... Depends who we're stealing off.
Okay.
Is there a code to this? Looking at the elves who are now just getting drunk in the corner.
I've got to be honest with you, I never really looked at the codes myself. I normally work in the tailor. worked. Hopefully. But anyway, no, I know where the alcohol is kept. It's kept on the far wall on the bottom shelf. I know that there are some pretty common potions shoveled around it, and the higher up you go, the rarer they are, but that's about it.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah, consider I'll get a long rest. I haven't not really decided what it looks like. I guess nothing really changes with how she looks, but there's definitely this air of change. Random from Providence. Just as if something elevated, maybe? Like the way she moves, the way she's looking at things just seems above what it used to be. I will pop Divine Transmutation to give myself a fly speed, and I'll just fly up to the top. Look at the really, you know, I'll pick Arazid up if he wants.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll pick Arazid up, and we'll go like steal the high shelf shit, or observe the high shelf stuff and see what's viable.
Okay. So in total, the pair of you would probably be able to carry about 4 bottles each.
Yeah.
So I'd say, I'd like both of you, I'd like both of you overall to roll 4d12 and 4d8.
Which one do you want to roll?
I'll let you decide.
I want to roll the 48 because 8's my favorite number.
Okay. Roll the 4d12. Ooh.
Holy moly.
Not bad. That's not bad.
Okay. So, like, the slightly lower shelf, is where Providence ends up plundering. And overall, you pick up 1 elixir of health, 1 potion of superior healing, 1 potion of mind reading, and 1 potion of invulnerability. I will write these in chat if you want them.
Thank you. Yes, please.
And Arazid picks up 1 oil of sharpness, 1 potion of supreme healing, and 2 potions of vitality.
Hell yeah.
I guess if I were to go back up after dropping Arazid down, but just on my own, I want to try and look for the most dangerous thing. Or dangerous potion.
Alright, I'd ask you to make an investigation check. Or an arcana check, whichever you prefer.
I will go with Arcana, because at the moment I have an advantage on that. Yay.
You find a potion of storm giant strength,
That works.
which increases your strength to 29.
I'm a bench press, that's all cool.
Damn, that's a pretty high number.
She will just
Stonks.
hide that on her person. She's
Sneaks.
not letting it.
And
let anyone
as you guys finish rummaging through the lab, and I assume with that, pack up and return back to
Make
other
it look
areas.
like we weren't there.
Yeah, despite the large amount of potions missing. Chance, Audra, Dolly, and Lulu arrive. in Happy Land.
Chance like a mote of fire just kind of like flicks in his hand. Do you want me to get rid of the sign? And it's kind of like looked at Madame Lulu.
You know, I think I would like that quite a lot. Yes.
And Chance is gonna cast Firebolt at the sign.
It struggles to like properly catch fire because it's very cold, quite wet wood. But you are able to hit the map and like the part of the sign that has Lulu's old name on it, and it's burnt off. So only part of the map really remains on the sign.
I mean, I can go bigger.
No, I don't think. I mean,
That's
you know,
good for now, my dear. We have slightly more important things to deal with, don't we?
Yeah, I think the fastest way was like heading up like this way to get to the village, if I remember right. And
It
Jane's
is.
gonna start like heading towards that barricade once more.
This place really hasn't changed at all. More fool him.
Jane's kind of like walks up to the barricade. Actually, before he shouts and everything, he's gonna look towards Audra. Do you have the spell ready to bring back the dead?
I mean, if someone were to die right now in front of me, yes.
But not those who have died in been a few
Oh,
days.
I actually do. I have that prepared today. Crazy. Okay, yeah, I have it.
Oh, perfect. Well, we'll have to talk to the family and see if they want her brought back, because, you know, we can't guarantee that she'll come back as an elf.
I also would need the material components, so we would just need like a lot of oils and unguents, etc. Hopefully around here somewhere.
I'm sure we can probably scratch them up around here.
Wait a second, you were not suggesting on a reincarnation?
It's the best we can do.
I mean, unless somebody dies right in front of me, that's basically the only really recourse I have as a druid.
I can't imagine it would be particularly comfortable for Pepper to return back as what it would most likely be the only non-elf in the village.
We can speak to the family and see how they would feel about it. You know, it's something I'm always hesitant about if I'm not able to discuss it with the person ahead of time, because, you know, you're coming back in potentially a very different body.
Have you never heard of Speak with Dead, child?
I'm a druid, so I don't have access to that particular magic.
And you don't either, wizard?
I've not come across that spell. I'm basically writing things into my book from memory of what my tyrant of a father had in his book as I kind of remember and work on, you know, fine-tuning them. And I don't think that was one. I don't think he was one to talk with the dead.
But I'm sure Chance will be happy to put it in his book if you have a book you could copy.
Yeah, if you have a spell scroll, I'm more than happy to, you know, copy it down.
We may not have a spell scroll, but Astrid and Hubert can both cast Speak with Dead.
Oh, yeah, because you're clerics, right?
Indeed. Well, first things first, let's get rid of this silly barricade.
Oh, that was erected by the elves, and anybody who goes past it, as soon as somebody does, they were threatening to just kill Nick. So.
Let's see if a woman's touch will help. Jerky Sticks! I know you're out there, darling. The face that you have come to know and probably not enjoy, pops out from over the top of the barricade. Who are you to know who I am? And then he kind of squints more. Wait. Yes, 'tis I. New body, new face, same beautiful personality. Take down this barricade and let us talk. Jerky, he, like, drops down from being visible in the barricade, and you hear, like, a lot of, like, really avid whispering. There's a really surprised happy element to a lot of it. And the barricade isn't completely dismantled immediately, but the cabinet that you passed through before is dragged backwards. And the barricade is basically just a really thick fence with a big old hole in it now. As Jerky approaches Lulu, and the pair hug. And he begins to cry. Pepper is dead.
Audra starts to cry a little bit too.
Huh?
I said Audra starts to cry a little bit too.
Pepper is dead, mother. I know. Not for long. I'm here now. I am going to solve everything. Now, where's that fool of a husband? He's in the last shack, Mama. Madame Lulu, just like, after untangling herself from the death grip of Hug, just bustles through the barricade, looks at you guys with like an eye of like, well, are you coming or what?
I'm good. It was just a very touching moment.
Chance is gonna come, as he's gonna like, oh, 1 second, the door's been reinforced with a bed. And Chance is gonna kind of like look towards the door, look towards like everything, and just kind of look like within the window and kind of like wave, trying to be like, hey, you know, it's me. Let us in.
You hear a scraping noise, and Astrid opens the door. I don't know who this is.
You'll see in a second, and Chance is going to like step in the doorway, so like the door can't close. Like have like his foot in the doorway, so that he can't close the door, and you know, gesture for Madame Lulu to go through. Or would you prefer me to drag him out here?
Drag him out here all you want. Come on, dear Astrid. Don't keep your mother waiting in the cold. Astrid kind of does this same reset. Mama? You're back. I am. Now please. Hugs later. Solving now. And the door like slams shut behind Lulu, but you can hear this a lot of really angry shouting from her coming from inside.
Jan's just kind of like leaning on the building, you know, if any elves kind of like approach, he's gonna like hold up a hand and be
Oh,
like,
yeah, that'd be gone.
not a good time.
Yeah, well, we don't know if that's a great idea, but you know, we really thank you for your interest.
After a little while, like the door flies open and Nick like just sails through the door and his face lands in the snow and his like ass is just like sticking up in the air. And it just looks you can see a big boot print right on his the seat of his trousers. Lulu emerges and she is just adjusting her dress as if absolutely nothing has happened and she is a perfect lady. Though you see her boots quite match the print.
Chance knows better than to say anything. He's already been threatened with death once by Madame Lulu. He does not need to make that twice.
Oh, we're at the point of physical violence. Cool. Okay.
Physical violence against idiots that harm others through their own greed is acceptable.
I fully support this.
Chance is gonna like look to Audra and like lean in. If I ever become like that again, feel free to do the same.
I mean, I don't know if I could physically kick you that hard, but I'll do something else to a similar effect.
Perfect.
I think it's time to take back my factory. For a time. It doesn't seem that Nick is, well put together to run it anymore. I think I will see what Dolly is up to these days.
Yeah, Dolly seems pretty sensible. And Chance is gonna like come down, like lean next to like Nick in the snow. Kind of like kneel down. Hey, buddy.
Oh. Oh. I didn't think it would end like this.
Well, I think this is probably better than a revolt that ends in your death, so think on the bright side, and Chance is gonna like pat him on the back.
My future ain't looking so bright.
Every new day is an opportunity to do better, Nick.
Astrid, dear, I believe there's a prison in here nowadays, the old lighthouse. I think there may be a cot with Nick's name on it. Don't you think?
You know, before you go, Nick, one word of advice that I learned pretty late on in kind of the hard way. Do unto others what you want done to yourself. And with that, like one final like pat on the shoulder, Chain's gonna stand back up.
Astrid's been just like clomping her way down the stairs. Grabs a hold of Nick. And in the meantime, the barricades have been broken down more and more. And we will quickly flip back to Providence and Arazid, strolling back into town with their wide array of potions, ready for a big fight.
Yeah, I'm just like kind of cracking my knuckles, even though I fight with a sword and cannot hit anyone with my fist remotely. And I'm like, yeah, I think that once we get there, we're really gonna give him what for.
You certainly can. I'm going to go back to Duras. This really isn't worth my time.
Well, I mean, I just think that, you know, in every time it gets a little chilly in the air, we get cool stuff from Nick. But I feel like if we just take all of his cool stuff now, we don't have to wait for that to happen.
You were on about violence like 20 seconds ago. I thought it was on that subject.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, we kill him and then we take all his cool stuff, is the thing. is what we're doing.
Yeah,
is
I'm
the
just
thing.
gonna let you do that. It's really beneath me at this point.
You don't want cool stuff?
I don't want to kill someone who isn't even remote close to a challenge.
Can I at least like lock him in a tall tower?
You can do whatever the hell you want.
Do you like do you like the cold? How do you feel about the cold?
Since whatever she's done in that tower, she's not been bothered at all.
How is Providence looking in terms of magic ripping her apart, by the way?
Not at all.
Cool.
We
Cool.
fixed that. We fixed that.
I'm just double checking. I mean, sometimes things
I
come
don't
back.
think we told anybody. We just kind of fixed it and never told anybody.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
shit.
Providence
Well,
definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah, because I don't know if... I forget if we actually said anything.
No,
We
you
said
didn't.
something to Solas, I think, because Solas was kind of like sharing the room and was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh yeah, because I think we like walked in. Solas like walked in of us just kind of like sitting and everything. It's like, oh yeah, we did magical surgery, and Solas like, what the fuck? And then just kind of like shook his head and went to bed.
To be fair, yeah, but Arazid has not. It's not been brought up in conversation at all.
Okay, well then I'm just peering at you in like a concerned guy way, and then I just go, huh, okay.
Yeah. She's definitely been acting different.
I mean, I can imagine it's like, now that forever is actually a long time and not like the next 2 months, I guess I'm fucked because I didn't plan for having a life.
Sure, we'll go with that.
The
Well,
pair
I'm
of
just
you
gonna-
kind of like stumble back into like the area that was very barricaded before, but now you see a couple of elves milling about, returning the pieces of furniture to like the houses and stuff. And you see like Arazid just sees Madame Lulu here with Dolly and Chance and Audra, and the head of the protesters that you saw before, Jerky. And there seems to be some kind of transfer of ownership / future agreement going on.
No war?
Audra's just got one arm around Chance, just being like, "I'm so proud of you. You did such a good job."
Chance looks up. No, we found a peaceful solution. I've learned that there is often a peaceful solution to many things.
Even if sometimes you have to kick useless bosses / husbands into jail.
Yeah. Well, look. Giving somebody a kick in the pants to set them straight seems a lot better than, killing them or, having a group of adventurers with a lot better things to do show up and genocide some people.
But that's what we've been doing the whole time.
Arazid, no, we're gonna have to talk about the definition of genocide again.
What? Okay, maybe whenever I first joined, I was all gung-ho about killing every problem. Maybe I was a bit gung-ho about killing the twins in Squad specifically.
Okay, they deserved it.
Squad had it coming. The twins heard Audra. I rest my case.
Now things seem to be resolved here. Before I return back to Grove and you all return back to your very important preparations, would you like to learn how to craft some magic items?
Really? That would be so cool, guys.
She beckons
Okay,
you.
let me just get my notes out.
She beckons you into the factory, and there she shows you the ins and outs of magic item crafting.
This is actual Christmas for me.
And
I'm gonna ask her if that means I can combine 2 of my items into one item that does the same thing as both items, but I only have to attune to one.
There's a rule set.
depending on the items, I can see that would be possible.
Yay!
In certain conditions. Essentially, with that, she will show you how to do these things. You will do some of them and then return back to Duras, which is where we'll pick up next session. But if you would like to discuss magic item crafting, any ideas for it, I'll be kicking around the VC a little while longer.
I'm so
Okay,
excited, I'm so
I'm gonna
excited, I'm
go
so
eat
excited.
so much fish.